Hello and welcome back to the LFC transfer room. It is not a very busy day in terms of transfer news, but we'll be bringing you the biggest stories and some stuff to do with Leeds as well today. We've got Sam and Omer here with us. How are we, boys? Are we good?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm hoping we're bringing some Squeeze Army in to our stream today.
Give us views, mate.
It'd be good. Anyway, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to the LFC transfer room, getting close to 1.5k subscribers, which would be sick. But today we're going to be talking about a few things. The man on the thumbnail, Mr. Jude Bellingham, will be coming up at some point, but we'll save that for your ears a little bit later. To start off, boys, I'm just going to get your thoughts really on the whole situation with the Brazilian FA and how they're potentially going to be banning Alisson and Fabinho and Firmino, even though he wouldn't play already, for the game against Leeds, as well as Rafinha. I'll start with you, Omer. How are you feeling about that? It leaves a little bit of taste in the mouth.
Well, it's a bit of a farce, to be honest. I've not even got my head around it. It makes no sense. I don't know why Richarlison can play. I know there's Everton fans going, "Stop crying," whatever, but it just doesn't make sense, and I can't see it going through. So I can see just the Brazilian lads playing, and hopefully they do, because it just doesn't make any sense, to be honest.
No, and Sam, obviously, with the thing coming through that both teams could be docked 3 points or given a 3-0 loss in the game. What if both teams do play Brazilians? What's going to happen there? It's going to be a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's kind of weird because obviously Brazil wanted Fabinho and Alisson to come and play. I think was it the Copa America qualifiers or something, and obviously Liverpool said no because of the COVID-19 stuff, and then obviously. Even though, so Brazil are not going to get anything out of banning or trying to get them banned. So it's like, it just seems like they're trying to just get one back at us. But yeah, man, obviously, hopefully it don't go through. It seems stupid. Why, the reason that we even gave, it does seem quite viable. COVID-19 regulations, we don't want to obviously lose the players for too long. So even from the Liverpool side, it doesn't seem as if we are not trying to even let them play. This is a thing where the COVID-19, we don't want to lose them for too long. Big games coming up, so it's like I'm saying. Obviously, we pay their wages, so in a way, the club come first in a way. But yeah.
Hello, Paul. Hope you're doing okay, mate. The reasons that the Brazilian FA gave was good relations with Everton, so it means that they've got some good shit there, man. Honestly,
is that what they said?
Yeah, they've got good relations with Everton, is what they said.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mess, isn't it? It's a mess. It's a mess, bro.
That just sounds like that's my friend, so I'm not gonna do that. Just sounds crazy. Sounds crazy.
It smells like Brazil, to be honest, man.
Yeah,
the way that they've dealt with things in recent times, and obviously, I'm surprised we haven't heard anything from Egypt, really. But at least Mo got to play one game this time out. He didn't get to play in the Olympics, so it's all a weird one.
Yeah.
In terms of, as you said, Omer, Fabinho would have been key. But in the situation that Fabinho doesn't play, who is your midfield three for Leeds next week, and who would it be?
Well, I think you've got to play Henderson there. I don't think Thiago is best in the six. I know we played Milner there, but I think Henderson after Fabinho is our best six. I would play then Thiago and Keita alongside him, hoping that he's not scarred from war, whatever he's just come back from. So that'll be
another crazy situation we haven't even covered yet.
So that'll be my midfield three.
Oh, blimey. I'm getting a lot of notifications. Sam, what would you go for?
Yeah, I probably agree as well. Probably Henderson 6. Probably think he's probably our best 6 after Fabinho. And then KR and Thiago. Thiago's probably he's been at Liverpool for the whole time, so he's had time to to rest, to train. I think he had a little injury, I think, before pre-season. So, yeah, man. And obviously, K is good, I think. Yeah, man. I just think Henderson, KR, and Chedu.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree. Obviously, I want some representation from our boy Oxlade-Chamberlain, but it might not happen this week. I don't think Leeds is the game for him. But you never know. In terms of squad depth is another thing that we need to cover today. The famous tweet has gone around this time of our injuries and the list cancelled out in each one. You guys know that tweet where it's like our squad depth.
Yeah.
Currently, our only functioning backup forward is Divock Origi. Do you think it's sort of a fault that we didn't bring someone in, or is it just, a bit of bad luck? We'll start with you, Sam.
Yeah, man, it's our fault, man. To me personally, we shouldn't have brought someone in. Like, there was a few players that were on the market that were available for a good price. So I just feel like it's just us, FSG trying to be cheap or whatever it is. But yeah, I just think we should have brought someone in. And obviously, if we do have to end up playing like an Origi or whatever, and he doesn't perform, we can't really blame Origi. Like, we have to blame Klopp, the upstairs, and whatever. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird one. We didn't actually cover this man here, Harvey Elliott. Could he potentially be a backup option in the front three, or would you guys prefer him to function in the midfield?
Well,
go on.
Well, I mean, he's played in the front three his whole life, really. So I'd be happy with him as a backup there, but it's not enough to having Harvey Elliott play front three and midfield three. We should have really gone in and look. I would have been happy with just someone else up front because we have 4, I think, really top class forwards, and then beyond that, Minamino's still a bit of unknown. Origi, he's hit and miss. In midfield, yeah, we could have had someone maybe, but it was really the forward line which we needed a bit more. And I just think even if Elliott does play in the front three, he's very similar to Salah. Salah would have to move from the right. We just, I don't know. Like, I see Giroud go to AC Milan for like 2 million. I'm like, why don't we just go in for him? So it's just frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because when a young player is coming through, you want them to have both consistent minutes, but also managed minutes. And then I don't know, if it was me, I'd make sure Harvey Elliott was concentrated in one position. He's been excelling in that midfield so far this season and in pre-season. So yeah, get your comments in. Let us know what you think, and we will be getting your comments up gradually. We will do. Black Hammer, no, I don't think so. We haven't actually covered. I don't really know about that rule. No one really knows about that rule at the moment, and Brazilian FA and FIFA are making it up as they go along, or it feels like it anyway. So yeah. Any other international break news? I mean, Diogo Jota got a goal and an assist. Do you think he'll be coming back? He'll hopefully be raring back for Leeds. He's had a good start to the season as well.
Yeah, man. Jota, that's my guy. I'm still a bit about where he's best going to be played. I'm not sure left, centre forward. But yeah, I think he's had a good run. I think now scored about 15 games in about as many. 15 goals in about as many games. So, like, he's doing well. Hopefully, he's got some more rhythm, and yeah, hopefully he's scoring goals against Leeds. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he could be a key man, Omer?
Yeah. I think he's got the knack just to score goals. And look, I know sometimes we criticize his build-up play and everything, but he does what's most important, which is to score the goals that we need. So I'm happy that I think he will probably be, I think, alongside Salah or just behind Salah in terms of goals. That's how important I think he will be to us this season. So yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm ready to see what he can do and just see him explode essentially this season.
Yeah, I think we've seen he's a very natural goal scorer, very spontaneous, shall we say? I think that's the best way to describe him. Another thing we saw in the international break was this. Trent in midfield. Now, a lot of people have been advocating for this. Not myself, being perfectly honest.
I had one of the guys, though. I had one of the guys.
Are you one of them guys? So, did you watch the England game the other day, Sam?
I didn't watch the game that he played in the field. No, I didn't. But obviously, I did ask the TL what happened. Obviously, just full of bad. He couldn't get the ball enough. He's been ghosting. He's too far forward. I think he even said himself that he found it hard to even get into certain positions. So yeah, obviously, my opinion on that is obviously like I wasn't even expecting him to, do like a madness. You know what I'm saying? I did always think that it was always going to be a transition. I didn't think like obviously I do get a point. Obviously, with Trent, he's the best right back in the world, and why would you want to just transition him to a midfielder? And obviously, my thing is like, all right, cool. Trent's 22, 23, I think it is, and obviously, like I do feel like as time goes on, when he hits 27, 28, 29, he's gonna become like more mature. He's gonna become more complete, and obviously, I do feel like he has all of the necessary foundations to even be a midfielder. Like when I look at Kimmich, Cancelo, the thing that they're doing, or that, or So the things that they're doing, Trent needs to do that, and even to a high level. So I'm just thinking like, all right, cool. Obviously, he started off. It's not good enough, obviously, but it's a process. And obviously, I'm not even saying for him to go in there and play there for the rest of his career. But obviously, sometimes maybe in a few years' time, we might have a better right back who can actually play, and maybe we might need Trent. And obviously, it's a good option to have him. What do you call it? To come and play as a midfielder. So yeah, man. Like I just feel like I don't know why everyone's too against it. Like I'm just like, just try it. It's not obviously the end of the world if it don't work. But yeah, man, literally, yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Definitely. I mean, the fact is that he wasn't ever going to put in a brilliant performance in because he'd never played there before since like youth. He's never played there in professional football. And it's a little bit unfair to expect him to go and be the next Steven Gerrard in that midfield, even if it is against Andorra. So yeah, you could see his natural right back tendencies there. Like he was getting in the way of Reece James a little bit, but I don't know what your 10 pence in this, Omer, is.
I just think we put too much emphasis on positions in general. Like right back on midfield, where he is right now for Liverpool, where he plays is perfect for him. Sometimes he comes into midfield, sometimes he stays out there at right back. There's no need to change that. I'd love to see him in midfield just because I think he's got that like dynamism to go up and down the pitch. But right now he's the best right back in the world, and like Squeeze said, he's only gonna mature. And I think we've seen Philip Lahm do it later in his career, like drop into the midfield, players like that. But right now he's the best in the world, and why change that?
Yeah. Afternoon, Chuckle, mate. Hope you're doing well. An OG of the channel, Chuckle was, I remember back in the day. And yeah, it is I don't know. It's a weird one with that one because he did play so well, but then he does cut in, but then he does get back. I think the myth that he is poor defensively, I think, has been killed now. I think it's done. Apart from in the mainstream, because they still seem to think he's poor defensively, but, like pundits. But the people who know that he's not. Like he is solid. So who knows what the transition will be for him? It's going to be very interesting. It's a bit like Bobby Firmino. Like, is he really a striker? No. Is he an attacking midfielder? No. We don't know what he is. Like, it's just there. He just vibes, isn't he? So yeah, moving on to the man in the thumbnail. We have to do it. We got a report the other day from the LFC transfer account for Jude Bellingham. Now, as a very, very reliable journalist saying that we will be monitoring, Jurgen Klopp loves him and loves his dynamism, his style, and his passing. Would he be the dream signing, Sam?
He would, man. He would. Bellingham's a top player, man. Like, he's 18, 17, I think he is. And, like, when I watched him play, I think it was against City last in the Champions League, I think quarterfinals it was, and I was like, damn, this guy plays like he's like 25. So if you get him, that's our future set in the midfield for a while. In terms of, I think he'll probably come in and play that Henson role. And obviously, like I feel like if we do get him, you know what I'm saying, it's perfect. Obviously, whether we do get him or not, that's another question or not. But obviously, if we do get him, I would love him. Top player. He seems like a proper nice guy. Yeah, man, I have no qualms about this guy. Literally, obviously, the price tag sounds a bit less than I thought it would be. I think 80 million was the price quoted.
Yeah, 80 million from the Daily Star.
Yeah, I feel like that is definitely worth it. Yeah, man. Yeah.
It would be quality. Do you think though? I mean, next season we could see a wholesale changes. I know we are next summer FC, and we all say this. But if you think about it, James Milner is going to probably be leaving. Maybe one of the front three will be leaving. Who knows? And a couple of defenders who I don't even know what's going to happen next season. Omer, do you think Jude Bellingham would be like priority over, say, a forward? And would you choose him over a forward?
For me, a forward's the priority. I think Bellingham's the perfect fit, but we need forward depth. If Milner does go, if a couple midfielders go, then we do need to get Bellingham in. But I'm going to be optimistic because we are next summer FC. I think we do get Bellingham and a forward. However, if I had to choose between one right now, I love Jude, but I'm sorry, we need a fifth quality forward because I'm just worried that a couple of our front four could get injured or lose form, and then we're really screwed from there.
Yeah, I'd almost be willing to risk that for Bellingham, if you know what I mean. I think he is that good that you would disregard everything else just to sign him. Especially with the fact that he's barring a long, like a horrible injury, he is guaranteed world-class footballer for 10 years. Like it's frightening how good he is. But yeah. I don't know about you boys. But if there was any other, players out who would compete with Bellingham, like in terms of ideal signings for you boys?
Rafinha.
I feel like if it was between Bellingham and buying Chiesa for starters, I would think hard. I think I would probably lean towards Chiesa. Only reason being because in our midfield we have a bit more depth, and I do feel as if in terms of getting another midfielder, we don't necessarily need a Bellingham, if that makes sense. Like we don't need someone of that high of a profile to come in to revamp our midfield. Obviously, we still have a couple good players in there, and I do feel like, and obviously, but I feel like with up top, we do need someone to come in and challenge Mane. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like just in terms of that, not even in terms of like who's a better player, but I feel like in terms of what we need, I do feel like a forward is just about more important than a midfielder, because obviously I do feel like up top we're a bit short. But yeah. It
is interesting, isn't it? It's a very interesting debate. We'll throw this out to everyone in the comments as well. Bellingham or Chiesa, make sure to get that to get your answers in as well. Omer, what side of the debate are you? Or you might have bring in another different player completely.
Yeah, no, I know I said Rafinha, but Squeeze just mentioned Chiesa, and I'm like, yes, bring him in. He's gonna be like top 2, top 3 winger in the world very, very soon. The reason I said Rafinha is I just think he's the perfect fit. I think like he's got that Mane at Southampton, Salah at Roma vibe about him, where I just know that if he comes into Klopp's team, his numbers are just going to go through the roof. But yeah, Chiesa is unreal, and
yeah. I really admire the use of Jared Bowen in this sentence. We're still carrying the flag. Like 3 months on. I'm still on the Bowen bus, boys. We're still on it.
Next summer, we're probably going to start thinking about Chiesa next summer, and then by September, it's just going to be, can we get Bowen?
Okay, so we haven't brought him up yet. A man who hasn't been here for a while. Neuhaus. What are you thinking? I know you've been sort of associated with him, Sam.
Yeah. Obviously, I personally think that he's a good player. Like I watched him a couple of times in the Champions League. I watched him a couple of times in the Bundesliga, and obviously, he does seem like a player that if he came in, he would be able to improve our midfield. What do you call it? Obviously, people don't like him because obviously he can't run, and obviously these kind of narratives. But I wouldn't have him over Bellingham. Obviously, that's quite stupid. But obviously, if we did buy him, I would be quite happy with that as well. So, yeah, man. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, we were. I think transfer even said it how we offered to get him for about 22 million. And obviously, we didn't want to go in for that. But yeah, man. Yeah, personally, that's my guy. Obviously, I like him. I like the way he plays. And yeah, hopefully, and I think if you don't get him, I think he's going to be off to Bayern Munich. So he's one to watch for the future. So yeah,
it feels very similar to Leon Goretzka, doesn't it? A little bit, because he was going up, and we were very deeply linked to him, and then he just ended up going to Bayern Munich, which
and even Goretzka might even be someone that we get. And I think actually even reported it a few deep in the some window apparently how he hasn't signed a new contract yet, and how he's still thinking, and apparently where one of the clubs that might be in for him, so they might want to watch. And obviously, yeah, he's a good player as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it would have been class. Moving on to Leeds, our preview with Phil Hay came out this morning, so make sure to go check that out. A really, really good video from Jack. It was Phil Hay's really interesting. In terms of Leeds United, where do you see their biggest threats coming from, Omer?
The wings, Jack Harrison, Rafinha. I think Dan James is going to be a good signing for them. I think without the pressure of United, he normally plays well for Wales, and he sort of has that. I think Leeds is his standard, but yeah, out wide I think is their biggest threats. Patrick Bamford, I think if you isolate him against Van Dijk and Matip, it's Van Dijk and Matip all day. It's just, can we stop the ball to Harrison and Rafinha if he plays, or James?
Yeah. I would agree. I think probably their threats come from the transition. Like, they're a very messy team, so once they break like that, and obviously, especially if they're playing James and Rafinha, that's dangerous. And obviously, I think James will play on Trent's side, so just gotta be careful. That obviously, whoever's covering Trent when he attacks does the job well. But yeah, man, I do think transitions are probably their main threat because they are quite quick, and obviously, yeah.
They are, and you got to keep an eye on Calvin Phillips, just keeping it ticking, don't you, boys? I mean, you see for England, and I don't watch England too much, but when I did watch him this summer, he was quality. And he was quality for Leeds last season, so he's going to be one to watch out for, especially if Fabinho does miss out. It's not going to be great. Phil Hay did say that the Bielsa does tend to bed in his new signings, a bit like Klopp actually. So it'd be weird if they got put straight in. Daniel James being their main new signing, but he has been chasing him for 3 years, so that's the interesting part of it. Moving on. Where do you think we can exploit Leeds? I mean, where are our threats coming from, Sam?
I think probably their man marking system. Obviously, Leeds, they just mark whoever's near them. I think if you have runners, Salah, Jota, and Mane, hopefully someone like Thiago, KR, Trent can even Robertson or Tsimikas can even find them. So definitely from runners, they can be left quite vulnerable if obviously we just try to disorganize them as much as possible. So I do think runners is our best bet, and even I think last season, if I'm correct, they don't have many tall players. If I'm correct, so corners as well. Van Dijk, I think did he score last season in the
yeah.
So I feel like probably definitely corners as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that we did score because Mo scored from the free kick where he volleyed it in like madman. And then you got the Van Dijk header, and then I think we got a handball from a corner or something. I can't even remember now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are going to be dangerous on the counter attack, though. I think they'll be really. We have to be careful with the high line because they're just rapid, and we won't tire them out because they're all so well drilled and fit, and all that. What are your boys' score predictions? We'll start with you, Omer, for Leeds against Liverpool.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 3-1 Liverpool. I'm gonna say it's going to be a really hectic start to the game. It might be 1-1 in the first 15 minutes, but then I think, Salah scores a double in the second half to just pull it away from them.
Yeah, hopefully. Sam, what are you saying? You're going to be as positive as Omer there?
I'm quite pragmatic, man. I'm going to go. I'll be a bit more. I'll say 2-0. I'll say 2-0. I'll say 2-0. I think Salah, and I'll go for Mane. Salah and Mane to score 2 goals. 2-0.
Hopefully, I'm gonna err on the side of caution. I'm gonna say 2-2. I think Leeds are gonna be quite a threat. Rafinha, is if he's playing, it's going to be a threat. Jack Harrison we saw on the first game of last season. I'm going to go 2-2. Virgil's going to score 1. I think his first goal since coming back. Mo's going to score, but I think Bamford and Harrison will also score. Hopefully Harrison does, because I've only been able to transfer out one Leeds player out of my fantasy team, so he's the only one. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And we will catch you in the next stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow Omer and Sam on Twitter. But we'll catch you in the next stream.